Yes guys, it's FPL Guy here, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing how the quarterfinals went and then talk about the semi-finals and my team for that. So if you watched my previous two videos regarding the team selection and my transfer plans, I mentioned some key players that you could target, and pretty much all of them done really well. So what I said was you could double up in the England defense and go for one of Sterling or Kane, and literally all of them got points. So you literally could have got any of them, and depending on who you went for, like Kane, Maguire, Shaw, you got a really good score from those guys. I also mentioned Grealish is a risk, and you probably shouldn't go and get him. And obviously, that was the right call. Apart from that game, I also mentioned in terms of the Denmark and Czech Republic game, you could go for the likes of Mele, Dolberg, Schick, Sufal. Literally, all of these guys got points as well. Not as much as the England guys, but still, they got a decent score. Let's actually have a look at how those games went. Let's scroll down a little and let's go back to the quarterfinals. So Switzerland, Spain 1-1. Obviously, we thought that Spain would win a lot more comfortably here, but it really went to the end, and Spain luckily did win. Luckily for our fantasy teams, they did win, but that was a close game. In terms of Italy and Belgium, I mean, we mentioned Italy would win here, so that was good. And Czech Republic and Denmark, we said Denmark would win, and obviously England was an easy win for them. They played really well. The entire team performed incredibly well, so they deserved that win as well, and by 4 goals. So yeah, that was a good call there as well. So let's have a look how my team actually performed. So overall, it wasn't the best week. I ended up with 40 points, and the only three players that actually got me some points were Harry Kane, John Stones, and Melee. The reason why I picked Melee over Kane captain on the second day is well, I mentioned over on my Instagram some key stats regarding these two players and the overall team and how they play, and all of it pointed towards going for Melee captain. Obviously, I knew that was going to be a big risk. He could end up with 1-2 points. Luckily, he did get an assist, but I was hoping for more. He was very close to also getting a goal. If he got that goal and assist, then that would have been a great score. I would have been really happy with that. The assist, however, was really nice. So I'll give him that. That was a really nice assist. Obviously, the better pick here was Kane. I mentioned he was a lot safer pick against Ukraine. He could get a few goals, which happened exactly like that. So if you picked Kane, well done. Also, the English defense, I mentioned them. You could go for them, and if you went with either Shaw or Maguire, then well done again. Those were great picks. Even Stones going for that clean sheet wasn't a bad pick at all. Apart from those guys, the rest of my team pretty much blanked. I mean, we obviously thought that Spain would do a lot better, but they all blanked. And De Bruyne blank. If you had Lukaku, he got that penalty, scored it, so that was good. And then yeah, overall not the best week. Okay, let's put that all behind us and let's actually look at my team selection for the semi-finals. So first, let's have a look at the games and the fixtures themselves. So first, we have Italy and Spain. I do think Italy will win this game, although I am going to say I don't think there will be a clean sheet in this game. I think both teams are likely to score. So defensively, I won't be considering any of them for captain. Obviously, I'll have players from their defense, but I won't be considering them as a captain, as I'll mention later on in the video. I think both teams are likely to score. As for the England and Denmark game, I think England will obviously, well, not obviously, but I think they will go through. They have a very good chance of going through, and they also have a good chance of getting a clean sheet. So, as for captaincy, as I'll mention later, you could pick their attack or even their defense. Both are very good options. As for the Denmark players, I think we have a few of their players in our team. So, I have Melee, but I know some of you guys will have Melee, maybe Dolberg, maybe Poulsen and Damsgaard. So, I think obviously you can keep them now, but do remember we do have 5 transfers going to next week, so there's no need to worry if they do get knocked out and you have a few of their players. You can always adjust with those 5 transfers going on into the finals. So as for the specific players that I'll be looking at, we have 5 transfers now. So I mean we can change a lot of things now. So what I'm thinking is, in terms of my attack, I think I'm going to keep those players the same. I don't need to change them. First, I need to fix the bench and then some of the players like Spinazzola as he's injured. So that's why I think I'm going to be keeping my attack the same. They're great picks anyway, so they're staying. As for my midfield, I do think Berardi is likely to get benched again for Chiesa. So if you do have the luxury of making that transfer and the rest of the team is already sorted, then you could potentially look at removing Berardi for Chiesa. And do remember, the lineup will be announced before the deadline, so we can see maybe Berardi does start, although I think it's unlikely. We can make adjustments before the deadline, so that's something to remember. As for the midfield, I will be changing my bench around, so like De Bruyne and Forsberg, I will be removing them and getting some different players. And similarly for my defense, I'm going to be removing Spinazzola, Dumfries, and also Stecklenburg. So these are going to be my 5 transfers. So let's see which players I'm actually going for. So instead of Spinazzola, I think it's a great idea to double up on the English defense with Shaw. You could even go for Maguire for a slightly safer pick, but I think Shaw has pretty much nailed on his spot as well. Shaw has created the most chances for the English team, so he's an incredibly good pick going up the left, and also obviously he has the clean sheet potential as well. So doubling up with Shaw and Stones, I think is a great idea. Talk about the English defense. As for my second goalkeeper, I think I'm going for Pickford. So I'm actually tripling up on their defense. I think they're very capable of getting another clean sheet, so that's why I've tripled up over here. As for midfielder spot, I'll be removing De Bruyne and getting in Insigne. He's on set pieces, and if Italy do score, he has a really good chance of being involved in the goals. So as for the other midfielder spot, I'll be removing Forsberg for Sterling. So now we have 5 English players. I'm pretty confident that they will beat Denmark and go through to the finals. Hence, I have got 5 of their players. And Sterling has been playing incredibly well. Very unlucky to only get 6 points. He could have easily got some more. But nevertheless, I think they are playing incredibly well, and he's definitely got some goals or assists coming. And finally, the last spot for the defense will go to an Italian defender. At the moment, it's going to be Di Lorenzo. This could be Emerson. Again, we'll know the lineup, so I can make these small changes later on. So at the moment, it's going to be Di Lorenzo. That could be Emerson. And we still have well, point 1. Let's see if we can fit Emerson in. How much is he? 5.5. And oh, actually, okay, so Emerson, we won't be able to fit in. So it would have to be Di Lorenzo. If I wanted to get Emerson, I may need to shift around the team a little bit. So at the moment, let's just leave it at this. So Di Lorenzo. And so those are the 5 players that I'm thinking of bringing in. Shaw, Pickford, Insigne, Sterling, Di Lorenzo. If I stick with this, which is most likely I will, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Italian players, 5 English players, 4 Spanish players here, and then 1 Danish player. So as long as England stay in the tournament, I think going into the finals, that's not going to be an issue since we'll have 5 transfers again to make adjustments to our team. Obviously, one of Italy or Spain will be knocked out. And yeah, so as I said, we have 5 transfers to adjust our teams accordingly. If, it's a big if England do get knocked out and don't reach the finals, then there's an issue since obviously one of Italy and Spain will be knocked out. And if England also get knocked out, I'll have potentially 9 or 10 players which won't be going into the finals, which will be in my team. So then we'll have an issue, right? Because we only have 5 transfers. So, but I'm fairly confident England will go through, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Okay, so as for the captain, on the first day, Italy versus Spain, I'll be favouring the Italian attack, right? As I mentioned before, I don't think there'll be a clean sheet, so I won't be captaining any of their defenders. But as for the attack, if Spain do make that mistake like they did against Switzerland, a bit of a mix up in the back, then I think Italy are definitely going to be punished them. Even if they don't make a mistake, I think Italy have the capability in their attack to score past the Spanish defense. So I think I'll be going for either Immobile, Berardi, or Insigne. Let's see if Berardi even starts first. So probably Immobile or Insigne. Going to the second day, it's quite an easy pick to go for the England team as one of your captains. And literally, you can pick any one of the English players. You can go for their attack, so Sterling, Kane, uh, or you could go for their defenders if you have Maguire, Shaw, Stones. Maybe not Pickford, since he's less likely to get points unless he saves a penalty or something. I think Shaw, Maguire, or Stones are also great options. Literally everyone is getting points in the English team, so you could go for any of them. Personally, I think I'll go for Shaw just because he is the person who's creating the most chances. He's likely to be involved in getting assists and obviously the potential for clean sheets as well. Alright, guys, I think we'll leave it at that. This is pretty much what I'm thinking. Let me know what you think of my picks, and if you think I should change it and why, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions regarding your own teams, then also drop that in the comments. I'll be replying to all of those. And also, if you liked the video and found it useful, please consider subscribing and liking the video. I'll be posting 3 to 4 videos a week, especially going into the Premier League season. I'll be posting a lot of videos then. And I'll also have my FPL mini league code down in the description, as well as the auto join link. So if you're interested in joining that, that'll be in the description. As well as that, I have my Instagram at the top of the screen. I post frequently, multiple times daily over there regarding my team, football in general, FPL, fantasy related stuff. So go check that out. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.